Hey, what's up guys? I am Shun, freerider. Are you interested in news or a political issue? I am so. We have no place to discuss and communicate with. But we found the Fiskit. Fiskit is online public space to communicate and discuss public issue and news. So let's enjoy the video. Thanks for the time today.
Bet.
Yeah, and so first, please tell me about. Here is the camera. Yeah. Okay. Please tell me about your product easily. First.
Sure. So my name is John Pettis. I'm the CEO and founder of Fiskit. Fiskit is a next generation news discussion forum to try to build a better discussion after an article comes out on the internet. And for our opinion, the best discussion is one that favors facts, logical thinking, and civility. And these are three things that are very rare on the internet today. And so we're trying to engineer a discussion forum which has freedom of speech, but it gives incentives to actually use facts, logic, and civility when you talk to other people. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to build a system that lets you go through and talk about a news article sentence by sentence to talk about the details and talk to each other about whether this is true, whether this is accurate, and whether this is good analysis. So that's what we're doing at Fiskit. It's a next generation news discussion.
Where did you get this idea?
So the idea comes from actually the blogging world. So in the early days of blogging, the early 2000s, a blogger by the name of Andrew Sullivan, who's very famous political blogger in the United States, popularized a term called fisking. Fisking.
Yeah.
And what that means is it's based on the name of a British reporter who would get lots of things wrong in his articles. And so bloggers would take his article and quote one sentence and then write 3 paragraphs destroying it, and then quote another sentence and destroy it and cite evidence. So it was a rhetorical form to go through in very detailed manner and get the facts right. And that became a thing called fisking an article. You take somebody's article and you really go into it and correct it. And so what we're doing is we're creating an engine online to allow any person in the world to fisk any article. And then what we do is we now have that criticism in structured data, and we run analytics to see if an unusual number of people all recognize the same issue with that article. And if they did, then we highlight it and we say, this article is, or this sentence is unsupported. This is cherry picking evidence. This is false. And so we're trying to get to an objective critique of online content by looking at what a lot of people's opinions are. Our goal is to retain the freedom and to say anything, but add accountability and add the ability for people to control it for the quality. So that's the difference. So you can still say anything you want, but if you say personal attacks against somebody, other people don't have to see it.
So please tell me about your founding story.
This company was founded it's something I'd kind of had in my head, especially through the 2012 U.S. presidential election. So we're 2016 now, and so we're in another presidential election. So I've been working on this for almost 3 years.
Yes.
But you get people, they come in the media and they say stuff that's not just not true, but it's Googleably not true. Like I can just take out my phone and be like, that's not true.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
why is it that people think that they can go into the public, in the media, on TV, or in a big newspaper and say stuff that I can check is not true in 3 seconds? And the reason they feel like they can do that is because media is still in a broadcast architecture. It's still one point to many. And so if you're NBC and you get on NBC and you can say some lie, it goes out to 40 million people.
Okay.
But then the fact check is done on a website 3 days later and nobody sees it. So now you just successfully lied to 40 million people. And politicians do that all the time. And companies do it, and people with access to major media do that all the time. And so what we're doing is building a new system, which is more like the internet. It's a network architecture where you have one place that puts out information, and then everybody who reads that can then give feedback. And then we run the numbers and find out, was what they said true or not true?
Okay.
So that's what we're changing. So they came to me when I was reading Andrew Sullivan, who's the blogger, and he does fisks all the time, and so I think about it a lot. And I was watching it in the news and seeing people, lying and saying stuff that was super untrue. And I thought, it's unnatural. It's unnatural someone should be able to get up there in front of 40 million people and say something obviously untrue and feel like they can get away with it. There should be some accountability. So I just said, hey, what about this fisking thing online, which I'm a big fan of? What if we did that to news articles every day? We have enough people because so many people read the news. So we have enough people, and it only takes a small number of people to actually go through and write about the article before we're able to get statistical evidence of what's true and false.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Finally, please tell me about your dream. Yeah.
So my dream is we would like Fiskit to be a internet utility.
Internet utility.
Just like Google for search, Wikipedia for looking up facts.
Okay.
We want Fiskit to be the utility that you use to talk back to any web page and say whether or not it's true or false. So we want it to be, of course, when somebody tells me something, I check to see what 1,000 other people said about whether that's true. Like, of course I checked it, right? Or any time that I want to look up whether or not this web page is true, I check Fiskit. Because hundreds or thousands of other people have already been to that website. They've already thought about whether it's true. And so we want to give everyone the benefit of what other people said who already read it. And so we think that is a different paradigm for how you consume and interact with all information on the internet. Because other people have been there and they've already thought about whether it's true or if it's or what other issues are there. We want to give you the benefit of what they thought. So that's what we want. We want it to be everywhere, complete change. And it's actually it's worth noting that when Mark Andreessen was designing Mosaic, the first web browser, it was originally designed with an input comment system. So web browsers, they'll show you information, but it was originally designed with feedback also. It was originally designed for two-way information, but they stripped that out because they didn't have time, so it just became presenting information, which is what we still have. But we want to restore the original vision of the web where you tell me something and maybe I tell you something back. So that's what we want. We want to have a feedback loop for all of the internet.
Feedback loop. Oh, that's a very exciting idea for me. Yeah, this is my first time to come here. And thank you for your time.
You bet. My pleasure.
Thank you.